Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, I want to have a look at Litecoin, but before I do, I first want to thank our sponsor, Fairdesk. Now, Fairdesk is an exchange where you can go to trade your crypto at super low fees. Fairdesk also allows for copy trading, so by clicking the link in the description, you can sign up and follow my trades live. But hurry, because there's only 50 people that can follow my trades live. And with no KYC required, there really is no reason not to head over there now and sign up using the link in the description. It's super easy. You literally just make an account and boom, deposit some crypto, you're trading. So thanks again to Fairdesk, and back to the video. Now today I want to cover Litecoin. Now it's been a while since we've looked at Litecoin, ever since the halving. So coming up to 2 months pretty soon since we last made a video. So it's definitely prudent that we come and revisit and see how it did. Now, in our Litecoin videos, basically all of them, I did about 4. I said after the halving, Litecoin is going to have a huge sell-off, and its price action will reflect that. It's going to go down, basically. And on the weekly chart here, we can see that that basically has happened. Now, the halving was the 2nd of August. So this candle here was where the initial halving sell-off occurred. And you can see I drew this line as well at the beginning of the video, or sorry, before the video, these two sort of moving average resistance and support lines during the small uptrend that we've had this year, the very small uptrend Litecoin has had this year sort of thing, rallying up to the halving like we predicted. We said up to the halving Litecoin will rally steadily, and then after the halving it will crash like it always does. And then a few months later, Litecoin will recover again and go into sort of overvalued territory, along with a lot of the other crypto space in the next bull run. But not before we visit this deep value zone. And as you can see, we're on our way down there, and we're heading there pretty quickly. I mean, to even draw a little line here, we can see that we're following this pretty harshly, to be honest with you, and it's almost perpendicular to the two supports that we drew, sorry, not the supports, the two moving average resistance and support lines that we've drawn that have held up for about a year. We can see that we just totally broke through them, and when we did, we broke through spectacularly to make sure there was no questions around it. We broke through, and you know, definitely not coming back up, and yeah, making it very making sure that we're heading down this way like we did say. And Litecoin hasn't disappointed in our last video. We knew it was going to go down over the halving. Now that the halving's occurred, we can see it's just been big sell-off after big sell-off. Now the last few weeks, most of the crypto market has been rallying. Now Litecoin has seen a little bit of an extra pump. Most of the space didn't rally this first week. Only this week it had a bit of good news, but we'll see how long this lasts. Me personally, I'm not too sure. It's really, again, it's sort of September is historically a bad month for cryptocurrency, but it doesn't mean it can't have a huge pump in the middle and then still close below its monthly open. So for me, it's sort of it's not really big news. It just feels like one of those liquidity grabs that often pulls a bit of money back in, so that money can be drained and more people get wrecked and more people leave the space. It feels like one of those to me, and a lot of people are saying it's not, it's different, blah blah blah. I'll have to kind of wait and see. We need Litecoin to basically make a big recovery anyway over these next few weeks to see if anything does significant actually happen. Otherwise, for me, it's just like it's a lower high, you know. And it looks like it will go that way. Zooming out, I wanted to have a bit of a macro look on Litecoin. You can see I drew these two deep value and oversold zones where Litecoin has historically visited once or twice during its cycle. We can see during its 2017 run, peaked out, went into this and above this overbought territory, and then the next year basically it reached this deeply oversold territory, and it spent a bit of time recovering eventually dipped back into this oversold 2 years after its peak. And now looking at the last cycle back in 2021, we see that 2021 we had our bull run, peaked up here, and then a year or so later after the peak in 2022, similar enough time, we come down to this deep value area, and we actually got rejected just off the deep value, which was interesting. But we got rejected and we've stayed above, but now we're on course to head back down like we saw again here, where we had a deep value, a recovery, and then eventually about 2 years later we come back into this deep value for a few weeks and then climb back up on Litecoin. And this could be the way it's headed. 2021 we've had our pump. 2 years later we're still above this deep value, but now the trajectory's changed and we're looking to go below again. So just something to be aware of. I like looking at these charts sort of very zoomed out, because if you're playing the long game, like a lot of people are now, I mean, not many people are in crypto, and the ones that are playing the long game, they're not really day trading, to be honest with you. They're trying to accumulate now and hopefully sell at a later date when Litecoin is at a much higher price. So zooming out like this always gives me a bit of hope, because Litecoin seems very cyclical with its movements, and it's on its way to basically following what it did last cycle. And then again, 2025, we can see another pump like this where we go into this green territory. Again, as long as we reach this zone, like we have the last 2 times, you can be pretty comfortable on... Now, assuming that you buy in the red and sell at the green, you can be pretty comfortable on a 6x return, which is nothing to scoff at, considering that, not that it's a safe bet in crypto, nothing in crypto is a safe bet, but having 2 cycles where Litecoin has literally stayed within a price range, again, for 2 cycles, that's pretty comforting in my opinion. It's very similar to Monero, which of course is a fork of Litecoin, just privacy based, which is also sort of focused within a range of 2 prices, you know, an upper and a lower. Litecoin is the same, and it's nice to see, because to be honest, I think this is ultimately the way crypto has to go. With crypto currently being these huge price swings, it's not able to act as a solid currency for anybody. But when you have coins that are, you know, still extremely volatile, I mean, Litecoin is extremely volatile, but when you have coins that at least are bound within a range, and you can you can somewhat safely assume the direction in which Litecoin is going to go and where it will stop going that direction and when it will revert, it's nice to have. And I think, honestly, because of this, it will see adoption. Funnily enough, even though it's like the one thing nobody associates with crypto, Litecoin sort of has. So anyway, I don't want to ramble too much longer. Looking at the Litecoin Bitcoin pair, we can see that basically Litecoin has just steadily lost value against Bitcoin. Now in the bull runs, we see that, you know, extremely volatile price action, but this last cycle especially, nothing's really happened with Litecoin. And if we zoom in to just sort of 2020 time onwards, where the last bull run was, we had our peak, and now we're coming back down to this deep value zone where we were before. Now, I think we will visit back here, and I think we will go lower. I think all altcoins are gonna bleed on Bitcoin, basically, for the rest of this year. So whether by 2024 we're at a level that's basically here, I would not be surprised. And you can see that oftentimes Litecoin doesn't go down steadily. It kind of just, the ass falls out of it and it plummets. And then it'll rocket back up on its Bitcoin pair. Sort of very similar, to be honest with you, with its USD pair. But on its Bitcoin pair especially, it will just be extremely volatile movements. And I think we are still in a downward trend. So I see more volatile downward action back to this low area. Again, this should probably line up with our deep value on our USD pair, where by the end of 2024 we can probably expect to come into this sort of deep value territory by the end of this year. Not end of 24, by the end of this year, at the beginning of 2024. And that should line up with its Bitcoin pair, where it revisits its lows on its Bitcoin pair, and that would probably be your best time and price to buy Litecoin this cycle, whether it's with your Bitcoin or your US dollar or your euro, whatever. So ultimately, zooming in again, Litecoin's looking at more pain, you know, like all the other alts. Short term, this month, these next few weeks, we might have a pump. We might break up to somewhere like here. We might get rejected, you know, find serious resistance at the $70. We can see we were rejected here before. Whether we even make it back up to there is a big if. Ultimately, there's huge sell pressure for Litecoin, and historically, after halvings, like August 2019, let me find here, it always, you know, it sells off until it reaches the steep value, and then it pumps, you know. So I don't see this year being any different. So again, this $40 zone is where Litecoin is ultimately deep value, extremely oversold. That's where you want to pick some up. Ending the video now, guys, because I've been on way too long. Check out the Instagram down below. Also, go check out the Fairdesk link, and you'll get your low trading fees, and you can also copy my trading fees. Every video I make, I'm going to make a trade on the crypto that we talk about. So if you want to go sign up with Fairdesk and copy my trades, that would be huge, guys. Greatly appreciate it. It really helps the channel as well. So go down below, sign up with that link, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much, guys. Take care and peace.